What's up, guys? I'm Nobody Special. And over the years, I've developed a pretty good approach to my personal finances, an approach that has freed up a lot of my income and made it available to invest in the market where it's done very well. And over the years, I've noticed the patterns in my behavior that have allowed me to maximize that investment. So here they are, Nobody Special's 11 Commandments for Personal Finance. Ready? Hit it. Thank you for joining. I'm Jack Gamble, and I am Nobody Special. And I have 11 commandments of personal finance that I follow that inform my decision making. And these commandments have allowed me to free up a lot of my income and made it available to invest where it's done very well in the market. So here they are in no particular order. Number 1, pay yourself first. This is probably the most important of all of them. Pay yourself first. First of all, if your employer offers you a 401k or a 403b match, you need to maximize that unequivocally before any other expenses are paid, because that is free money that they're giving you. Think about every dollar you put into your 401k that your employer matches as an automatic 100% return on your investment. And that is just a fantastic return. You're not going to do better than that in the S&P 500, that's for sure. Now, on top of that, you've got the added benefit of the tax savings, where every dollar that you invest in your 401k really only costs you about 75 cents out of pocket because it's pre-tax contributions. And the other benefit of that is it's in the market and it's growing typically between 7 and 10% a year. So your 401k and your 403b at work, if they're offered and if there's a match, is going to be the single most powerful tool available to you, and I want you to make the most of it. Commandment number 2, never carry a balance on your credit card. Credit cards are modern-day instruments of financial slavery. If you want to make sure you never get anywhere in life, the single easiest way to make sure of that is to carry a balance on your credit card. That is the highest interest debt you're ever going to carry. And I want to make sure at the end of the month, you are paying that balance off in full. Now, there's the added benefit here. Besides not paying the interest, most credit cards offer you some kind of a perk in the way of cash back or airline miles, where as long as you pay your balance at the end of the month and you're not paying them any interest, your credit cards are actually paying you. So if you pay that balance off at the end of the month, you can treat that almost like a savings account. But the caveat is it requires that discipline. You must pay that balance off at the end of the month, which means week to week, you need to be keeping track of what your bill's going to look like at the end of the month so there are no surprises. It requires discipline. Commandment number 3, have a 30-year mortgage on your home that you can afford and don't pay it off early. One of my favorite books, you may notice over my shoulder here, is Rick Edelman's The Truth About Money. And one of the things that Rick Edelman did a long time ago was he polled his 100 wealthiest clients. And each one of those clients, even though they were millionaires several times over, each carried a mortgage on their home, a mortgage that they had more than enough cash to pay off at any given time if they wanted to, but they still carried that mortgage. Why? Is because a mortgage is the cheapest interest debt you're ever going to find. Right now, mortgage rates are down around like 2.75%. All right? I mean, that's about half of what inflation is. If somebody's going to offer you money at 2.75%, take it. Why would you ever pay that debt back early? Never pay that back early. I want you to make the minimum payment on your mortgage. If you have extra money at the end of the month, why would you pay down your 2.5% mortgage payment when you could be making 10% in the S&P 500 or any number of other investments that are going to yield more than 2.5%? So I want you to carry that mortgage and definitely don't pay it off early. Commandment number 4, never buy a new car. Okay, car guys, before you shoot me here, I get it. Some of you are really into cars, all right? And if that's your thing, more power to you. Enjoy it. Just make sure you're not making a slave of yourself financially. Now, the reason why I say never buy a new car is I want you to imagine a toll booth in the road, and that toll booth costs you $5,000 to drive through. Think about how much effort you would go to and how much longer of a route you would take to avoid that $5,000 toll booth. That is exactly what you have at the exit of a car dealership. There is an imaginary toll booth when you drive that brand new car off the lot. You have just paid $5,000. That is the value your car has lost the moment you drive it off the lot. That is money you're flushing down the toilet. Now, I'm not saying you need to buy an old jalopy and, be that noisy, dented, scratched up car in your neighborhood all the time. You can buy a 2 or a 3-year-old car that's still in fantastic shape with low mileage and great mechanical condition. And that practice over the course of your life is going to save you over $100,000 just in the sticker price of your car. Now, I also want you to factor in the reduced interest payments and the reduced insurance costs of driving used cars. And over the course of your life, that starts to really add up. Now factor in what that money could do if you had invested it in the S&P 500, say 30 years ago. I mean, we can easily approach numbers like $1 million in savings over the course of your life if you don't buy that new car and you take the money it saves you and you put it to work for you. Commandment number 5, it's okay to clip coupons. Okay, I live a very comfortable lifestyle. I make a good living. I have a lot of assets. All right. I don't consider myself rich, but I know I'm very fortunate. But you know what I still do every week is I still take out a pair of scissors and I clip coupons. Yes, I do. And I'm not embarrassed to do it. All right. If you're the kind of person who thinks it makes you look poor or cheap to present coupons at the checkout line at the supermarket, well, that's one way to make sure you stay poor over the course of your life. There's nothing to be ashamed of about saving money. All right. And now I've found by looking at my weekly circular at the supermarket, by making the most out of loyalty programs and gas reward points and clipping coupons, the effort that I put into clipping coupons and planning my shopping trips and maximizing loyalty rewards on a weekly basis pays about $100 an hour. That's how much money I'm able to save on my food and my fuel bills by planning my spending in advance. That's more than a lot of people make at their job. Now, also included in this is doing a quick Google search for a promo code before you check out for something online or making use of some of these apps that do that search for you. There's nothing to be ashamed of about saving money. It doesn't make you look bad. In my opinion, it makes you look smart. Number 6, schedule paying your bills once a month. If you schedule a day, say the first of every month, where you have 1 hour where you sit down with your spouse and you pay your bills. The benefits are several fold here. Number 1, you're not eating those late fees. Late fees is that toilet you flush your money down. You're also not eating interest costs by being late on your payments. Again, that is a toilet that you flush your money down. Now, the added benefit here is talking things over with your spouse. No one person in the marriage should be responsible for all the financial decisions or managing the family's finances. If you're the one in your marriage that's doing all that work, you need to make sure that the other has an input, has a say, or is informed in what's going on because it affects both of you. And if your spouse is the one who does all that for you, shame on you. You need to get involved. It's both of your responsibilities. Sitting down once a month and going over your bills is a way to make sure both parties in a marriage or a relationship are on the same page, that you're both working toward the same goals, and that you're both being well informed about what's going on in your family finances. Number 7, stuff happens. Bank on it. I want you to make sure you're planning for unforeseen financial difficulties because at some point in your life, it's going to happen. Maybe at many points in your life, it's going to happen. People lose jobs. Cars break down. Things catch fire. Furnaces break. Roofs leak. It's going to happen at some point in your life. And if you don't plan for it in advance, you're going to be forced to go into high interest debt in order to pay for that when it happens. And you don't want to do that. That's your toilet where money goes to die. Commandment number 8, forget about the Joneses. Okay, keeping up with the Joneses has become the acronym for our envy of what we see our neighbors buying and our drive to go get that for ourselves. Now, there are marketing departments in just about every industry that are designed to yank on your psychological strings to make you want to keep up with the Joneses. It's perfectly natural to see your neighbors have a nice car or to see your friend has the best new phone and to want that for yourself. But I want you to resist those impulses. You need to have impulse control to be able to free up that capital to invest in markets. And if you're constantly going out and buying things just because you saw somebody else buy it, you're never going to have that money available. Now, over the course of your life, if you don't play keep up with the Joneses, eventually the Joneses will be playing keep up with you because of your good decision making. Number 9, eat in, eat healthy. Now, eating out every now and then is fine. That's a great way to treat yourself. It's a way to keep life interesting. But if you find yourself eating out 2-3 times a week or buying lunch every day, chances are you're wasting money and you're being unhealthy. Now, eating in and eating healthy has the double financial benefit of saving you money on that expensive food at the restaurant and also saving you money by reducing your healthcare costs. Healthcare is not getting any cheaper, is it? Now, also included in this commandment is the kicking of unhealthy habits like too much alcohol and smoking. Those are very expensive habits. They lead to poor health. Enjoy everything in moderation. You can have that quality of life without paying for it at the doctor's office. And while we're at it, how about we get some cheap and free exercise, like go for a walk, go for a run, do some push-ups, do some sit-ups, instead of signing up for a gym membership after New Year's Eve in January and then never going to the gym but paying that monthly fee every month. Commandment number 10, find a hobby that makes you money. Now, there's a lot of benefits here. Obviously, you've got the benefit of bringing in a couple of extra bucks, and we're not talking about quit your day job kind of money here. I'm just talking about bringing in a little bit of money on the side doing something you enjoy. The other benefit is you're probably going to be less likely to sink a lot of money into really expensive hobbies that are the grim reaper of your personal finances. Again, picture that toilet that you flush money down. Now, you've also got the added benefit of maybe it turns out you're really good at this, or maybe this is a very lucrative hobby and you're in the enviable position of being able to consider quitting your day job to do something you do for fun anyway. And commandment number 11. Why 11? Because we don't use the metric system here. We're not going to limit everything to 10. Commandment number 11. Treat yourself and treat your family. There's got to be a reason why we do all this penny pinching and why we do all this investing. Don't get lost in the dollar values of everything. It's okay to splurge within moderation from time to time. Otherwise, what are we doing this for? So take that family vacation every now and then. Buy that nice gift for your spouse or for your kids every now and then. That's what this is all about. I want to thank you guys for taking the time to listen to me today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. In the meantime, live small, dream big.